Hey, everybody. Gangster Chef Cabrini here on Emma Speaks. That's right. Emma stands for entrepreneurs, musicians, artists, and authors. Their creative stories coming to life just for you. You get to be fed by their creative stories, what they went through, how they got to where they are. And today, listen, I have the true Phoenix Rising for you. This man is going to share his story with you of how he got through and is getting through losing his entire home in the Eaton fires. So if you're ready to get fed and to get inspired, hold on to yourself, because we're going to feed you today. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, everybody. Hey, welcome back. We just took a break, but I am bringing to you the true Phoenix Rising himself. Y'all put your hands together. I know you're not here with me, but put your life, put your spirit together for Dale Fielder.
All right.
How are you? Okay.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So,
I'm doing pretty good. Good.
considering, okay.
Considering, yeah.
You know, there's a story that says the devil is a liar,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I know that we went through something last night where we
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I was thinking about that, we went out to the site of my my home, and, and I told you.
Oh, that's the bed. Oh my God.
This is my studio, office, everything. Last night, so every time I have to tell the story over again because, I'm really focused, I'm like reliving it in my mind as I'm telling it. It's like I re-traumatize my body over and over again. So I think it could be connected to that. So I had a really tremendous toothache.
Just
Toothache. I mean, like, what is going on? Yeah.
Because we had such an amazing day yesterday, you guys. We went, amazing in that, being in at your home, which you guys will see some of the footage, amazing in that the love and the spirit of your home is still there.
Yeah.
But then we got back here and he had a toothache and we were going to cancel it.
Yeah, I was,
Just out of nowhere.
But luckily, I woke up this morning and it was, considerably had subsided.
So hopefully, as you continue to retell the story, that the traumatizing part of it will lessen and diminish.
Yeah.
So
just send light, y'all. Send light.
Take me back. Take us all back. Take us back to the day before.
Okay.
What were you doing the day before?
Yeah, well, I was performing with the jazz great Marvin Smitty Smith. Those of you into jazz know that he is probably one of the top 5 drummers in jazz. And we had a performance at the Baked Potato in Hollywood. And he's put together this tremendous seven-piece septet.
Okay, so Dale, wait a minute, hold on. What is a did you say a septet?
Septet, yes, that's 7 pieces. Like, quartet is 4 pieces, 5 pieces is the quintet.
Okay.
Yeah, sextet 6, septet, So there's also a no-net, which is 9 pieces. I mean, they go up.
Okay.
But this brother has really put together, and we're about to record pretty soon too, and it becomes sort of like the jazz event of that month, because everybody wants to hear Smitty.
Right.
People drive as far as Riverside County to come in, and he sells out all. So we had 2 shows completely sold out, And in fact, one of my friends came and celebrated their 42nd anniversary that night. And it was just a beautiful night. I mean, we're just on this incredible high. But somewhere between the first show and the second show, my wife Patricia started getting phone calls about the fire. And she,
Question. So had the fires started at all when you were at the vacation?
yeah, that's when that evening it started.
Okay.
And her family members and friends were calling Patricia. And she deliberately didn't say anything to me at all, because I mean we didn't know if it were going to be affected or not. Because when they say Eaton fire, we're thinking Eaton Canyon, which is east of us.
Okay.
You know. So anyway, at the end of the night, we leave. It's about 12:30, going on 1 a.m., and we're driving out. We hit the 134. All of a sudden, we looked on the hill, and we could see the fire up there on coming like a Glendale and all of that. And we're like, oh my God, I wonder, are we gonna be okay? So we go up on the 2 to get to the 210 freeway, which is where we get off for Altadena. Just La Cañada, the hills were just ablaze. And that's when we were like, whoa, we're gonna be okay.
Patricia's still at home?
No, she came with me.
You?
Yeah,
Okay,
she came.
okay.
Yeah, she came with me. And so we get off the exit. There's no electricity. Electricity's off. And
wait a minute. So the electricity is now gone. It's dark. You're driving through. Get to your
Altadena,
home
yeah. And
in the dark.
Yeah, we go up Fair Oaks, and anyway, we get to the house. The house is still there.
Any houses burning around you
No,
at this point?
no. And even our house is fine, so.
Know that to start packing, or what are you
Well,
thinking in your head?
Here's what happened. So we get there, we light candles and stuff so we could kind of see what's going on.
Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you didn't go get a flashlight. There's a fire.
Oh, we have
You went and got candles.
we have flashlights, But the thing that I did first, though, I went out to the backyard to just let me check this fire out and see what's going on.
Okay.
So I look out there and I said, damn, that's pretty close, I mean,
See it out
you
from
can
the backyard.
you can see it, yeah, but it wasn't yet up on us, So then we decided, maybe we better start packing a few things, and she started packing. She grabbed the strong box with all her important papers and stuff, because she's much smarter than I am, And me, I grabbed my horns. That's the first thing I had to put my horns in the truck.
You just needed your horn.
Yeah, and then I said, well, maybe better get some clothes too. So I put a bag and throw some Nike wear in,
Just maybe I get some clothes.
Yeah. So in that amount of time of me going out in the backyard, looking at the fire, I said, let me go back and look again. I noticed it had markedly gotten closer.
Oh my God.
And I said, oh shoot, this is, So we said, well, we hadn't gotten evacuation notice or anything yet. And, I've been up all day, I'm retired, so I go to pull the sheets down on my bed and the phones go off. And that's when we got the mandatory evacuation.
Yeah.
So at that point, you could kind of smell it, the smoke. The house was still there. I mean, it wasn't up on us or in the neighborhood at all. So we went to a friend's house who lived a couple streets below the hill. So we figured they'd be safe there. And we thought so. She took hers and I'm following her.
Okay.
And we get there, we actually got to bed, and I think I must have slept maybe about 30, 40 minutes before they knocked on the door. The great Michael Chukes, the sculptor I was telling you about. He said, hey, we got evacuation notice too, we got to go. So we all got in our cars, and it was like wagon train going down Fair Oaks.
Really?
I'll never forget the way that looked. All the lights you know, from all the cars going down a hill. It was a traffic jam. You know, I heard it was like 1,200 people trying to get out of Altadena, you know, and from there my wife knew to go to the convention center. You know, like I said, I didn't know nothing about it, you know, but and that was where the shelter was. And we got there probably 3:30, 4 a.m. in the morning. And that was just a trip, like, you know, oh my God, you know, but you're still thinking your house is going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're not thinking, you know, and so that morning, I guess around 8, 9 o'clock, you know, I was looking in social media and saw a friend of mine, the great Lewis Taylor, who plays with Kool and the Gang. Just lost my house. And I'm like, oh my God, he's just around the corner from me. So I jumped up and I said, I got to go up there and know, you know, and everybody's like, no, you can't go, you know. I'm like, I have to know. I got in my car and I drove up there. When I got to Woodbury Road, which is the dividing line between Pasadena and Altadena, all of a sudden you could see, I was like, oh my God, there's houses burnt and houses on fire. And I got there before the police could put barricades or anything. So I'm driving and I'm noticing all the wires from the telephone poles were, because the thing about it that night is we had what's called Santa Ana winds. That night, usually Santa Anas are like 30 mile an hour, 40, 50 mile an hour. That night I was told they were 50 mile an hour to 100 mile an hour, almost hurricane force wind. And so, because you could see how the telephone poles were like snapped over and the wires are all over the ground. And so I'm driving the car, you know, trying to drive around these wires and stuff.
So, what is it called?
Yeah. See, yeah. Yeah, see, that's what Con Edison was supposed to shut the power off, and they didn't. And I just started noticing at that point, oh my God, look, you just see houses on fire left and right.
At this moment, are you thinking my house is gone?
Yeah.
Or did you think that yet?
The possibility was strong, especially when I crossed Altadena Drive. You know, you're just like, oh my God, it's probably gone. Especially when I went down Palm and I turned to go up on Raymond, my street, every house was gone. They were all gone. They were gone, you know, and nothing left but you know, fires and chimneys. I mean, fireplaces and chimneys, and I pull up in front of my house, and it's just like, you know, you can't describe how you feel. So anyway, I sat in my car for 20 minutes and just cried, you know, because it was just like, everything I have is gone, you know, and that's a hell of a thing to go through. And but documenter than I am, you know, I finally got myself together, because when I say I cried, bellowed, I let it go. You know, that's a filter thing. We express how we feel, and man, you know, after I got finished acting up, I said, okay, let me go and look to see if there's anything I could save. And that's when I pulled my phone out and took that video that ended up on CBS Morning, and Joy Reid took it and put it on Instagram. So in that video, you see the raw emotion where I just realizing my house is gone. Everything that I have is gone. I mean, you know, my jazz label, Clarion Jazz, you know, my entire inventory is gone. Books, I mean, art. We have artworks all over the house, sculptures and everything. It's just everything you have is gone. Clothes, shoes, toothpaste. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you did the video, I saw the video, and behind you, something was still on fire. Mm-hmm. It was still burning. Mm-hmm.
My house, I got there literally moments after it was gone. Yeah. because it was still, you know, and hot. And I'm probably breathing all
All
this
of it,
stuff,
yeah.
you know. But I didn't care. I was just like, man, I just lost my house, man. You know.
So, and I guess, you know, you can't explain the feeling and the emotion that you were feeling.
Yeah.
You can't explain it for us to feel
Mm-hmm.
it. However,
Mm-hmm.
we felt it.
Mm-hmm.
When,
I can tell you how.
know,
I can
yeah.
tell you how I. You know, the emotion I felt was the love I have for my wife. You know, and that 16 years we lived here and we prepared this place. We decided, you know, our situation was such a great situation being there that we're gonna spend the rest of our lives here.
Yeah.
And we were happy to do that. And I just thought of all the love and care that, you know, Patricia and I put in just the lawn, the area, and just all of that, you know, gone.
Yeah.
It just felt obscene. Something obscene would happen to you, you know. And I really just thought a lot about. I think I even say that in the video that when I think of all the love that was in this house, you know, and it's just to see everything you worked for hard for 16 years just wiped off the face of the earth like it didn't even matter. And yeah, so that was what I was feeling. And in the other video where I'm kind of panning around, you can hear me sobbing, and I'm trying not to sob, you know, but it just, I mean, just the emotion of it is you can't help it. You feel, you know, that you've been violated, you know, and.
So when I was driving there with you, and I'm looking at this destruction, and it took me back to, of course, none of us were in the Tulsa, Oklahoma fires, but it looked like a massacre. It looked like it was deliberate.
Yeah, when I say when it's a violation, you know.
Yes, it looked like it was deliberate. Because if you go down the hill, so it looked like, okay, well, the white folks were saved and the black folks was burned up.
Yeah.
And I'm only using that as a little.
Well, that's pretty close to what, you know. I know a friend of mine who lived on Palm, a great drummer. I won't say his name, you know, because he really called the fire department out about it, you know, and he said, well, the fire trucks went up further on Altadena Drive where all these national historic homes are, you know. Made sure those were okay, but they let the West Altadena just burn. They just let it burn, you know. And I mean, the fire station is right next to his house, just, you know, half a block down. So I assume he knows what he's talking about. He's saying, well, you know, why they didn't do anything for us?
And you know, we do understand that with something this traumatic, and the winds and the gusts and things that were happening. Quickly, that they could not.
Yeah. To be fair.
You know, to be fair.
Yeah.
Possibly save everybody. So
Yeah.
I'm not poking blame. What I'm saying is that because when I wanted to think about it spiritually, and you know, where was God in this moment? I mean, a lot of people won't say that.
Yeah.
But where was God?
Yeah.
When these winds were happening, why would it be that? What is it? A month later, we had rains like we've never had.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was just very interesting. So then that brought me to researching Phoenix Rising.
The first thought I had is that, you know, me as a soul, you know, my I am presence, you know, created this. I created this for myself, for my growth, for my spiritual evolution, my growth, you know. And so in doing that, it was how I feel God's presence, you know, that there's purpose, there's a reason for all of this. And as we sing afterwards, I say, my God, you know, my house burning down did more for my career than anything in 30 years.
You know, and it's interesting how things happen that way. That, you know, you'll find people say, girl, if that hadn't happened to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Horrific. If that had not happened to me, this great thing.
I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now.
Yeah. you know, but we don't always have to have something traumatic happen for us to have something amazing happen, right? At the same time, so then that brings awareness to how are you living in your life right now? Are you waiting for something traumatic, or are you procrastinating with your life? Are you taking your home, your wife, your children for granted? Because when you are playing at the baked potato with a sextuplet, at this point in our lives, the inspiration and the way to inspire all of us is to not take our lives for granted. Right? And so as I move forward with this conversation, you know, I've known Dale, just so you guys know, I've known Dale for at least, been with my partner 25 years this year.
Oh, wow.
At least 27 years, well, at least 25 now. Years I've known Dale. I used to own a jazz club called Cabrini's Jazz Alley. And Nola's, a taste of New Orleans that I created in 2011. And both of my jazz clubs, Dale was one of my featured saxophonists and players on my stage. And we've had such an amazing interaction with each other over the years. But I want to talk about having a heart attack.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Because I remember you calling me on the phone.
Well, I can talk about that and explain, bring it back to the Phoenix Rising.
It's all a part of it.
Well, it's like, my I am presence, which is our way of saying God.
Yes,
I am. It tries to give me signals through the last couple years. I think the first heart attack was 2021. Then right after, and then I had another one in 2023. No, it was 2024. Yeah, it was 24, which I had to get a triple bypass done. And maybe because in my life, I had become stagnant in terms of my music and which I always felt was my purpose for being here. I was just like, I'm treading time, waiting for certain things to fall into place, and it's just this, just nothing is happening. It's like I have to really reinvent myself some kind of way, and I just wasn't doing it. It was just operating the way you've always operated, and I knew that I need to really devote my full time to music, and I've always had to work a day job as well. Now, so that's why I say I had two careers going. Neither one of them were like part time. And the COVID was finally put an end to the way I was operating with my day job. So I became just a contractor, and I worked from home, which really helped. So anyway, I just think, like we were saying, things need to be shook up. Yeah.
Did you have any heart issues before? Was it only stress induced? Did you have clogged arteries? Was there signs before?
Yeah, well, I mean, in my case, it's just mainly diet. Learning how to eat the right things and getting exercise. I mean, who knew? I mean, I love pizzas and fried chicken and stuff like that. But when your body changes as you get into your mid 60s and whatnot. So I look at the fire for all of us, because we're just helpless human beings, all of us, and we need to take that next spiritual step. And we just can't seem to do it because of the deterrent forces that are on the planet. And that's how I felt why this fire came, because it in my case, I can speak for me, it's really forced me to reinvent myself. Because I was holding on to, whatever else happens, I'm cool. I got some place I can die from, and whatnot. But
is that called being complacent?
Yes. I would say so. No matter what else happens. So whether I really get out here and let my music reach the people if that's not happening, it's okay because I'm here, you know, whatever, you know. And it's like you have to be about it, whatever you. And I've known from an early age that my mission in this life is through my music. And I told you stories about how my music has affected people. And I mean, a lot of times you think, well, I'm just a you know, human being. How, you know, I'm just not so important.
Right.
But I've learned, even I may not be a household name in the sense that we look at stars and stuff, because here we don't really, in America, we don't really deal with the music itself. I mean, you have to be a star to be considered a success, you know. But success can be very moderate. And I've just realized that there's more people in Europe that know my music here in this country. There's more people in Asia that knows, you know, because I see the orders come through and whatnot. But it's like you need to be about that, and if anybody needs it, America needs to hear my stuff, you know.
You know, but I think I want to piggyback to they cracked you open, and when you had this triple bypass, which I did not know about, by the way, and they looked at your lungs, what did they say?
Oh yeah.
Your lung capacity.
Yeah.
Because I thought, or is it true? You can tell me. You have to use so much air to play a wind instrument.
Well, to play a baritone saxophone.
Baritone sax.
Yeah. The baritone sax is the really big saxophone, you know.
We tried to get her here, but she couldn't. She was busy, huh?
So it takes a lot of air, you know, and there are very few baritone saxophonists who are pursuing being a soloist. You know, most baritone players are anchoring the saxophone section in big bands. You know, so you're not really standing out front and letting it become a lead instrument. There are guys doing it. You know, there's a few, like James Carter is one out of New York. You know, brother is really laying it down. But it takes a whole different mindset, and it's a very physical instrument. Yeah. So the surgeon told me when they opened me up, they all like kind of stand back. They had never seen lungs that big, splayed out. She said it was my entire chest cavity. It covered everything. And she said she was glad that I told her about that I play that horn, you know, because she said this is why his lungs had just gotten so big from you know, blowing that horn. And I know because, you know, after the surgery, I did not have the same lung capacity because they had put everything back in its right place. And I was just like, you know, because I'm trying to do what I used to do and I'm running out of breath. I can't finish the long phrases like I used to. And I listened to the recordings back then, you know, it's just stuff I recorded like from vibrato. And I was like, God dang, you know, I just didn't realize that, how physically I had adapted to doing this. Yeah. And
so that was your workout.
Yeah. And that instrument is the instrument that I'm known for, because there's not a whole lot of baritone players in jazz that are pursuing being a soloist and strictly on baritone, and certainly not black doing that. Yeah. You know.
Wow. Okay, so you're cleared.
Yeah.
He's cleared.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm right now. I still.
That part. When did you have your open heart surgery?
That was a year ago this month, February 7th, 2024.
Oh, look at this. This is all wonderful. Look at this Phoenix rising. What?
Yeah, so there was already that, you know.
Jesus.
And then you lose your house, you know, so.
Okay.
But the good thing that happened is bringing the music back and me being able to devote my full time to it. Yeah. Pointing to 2 or 3 things that have happened since. So while I'm sitting in the shelter at the Pasadena Convention Center, I get a phone call from Nolan Shahid. you know, and I'm sure somebody out here know who
We know Nolan
the
Shahid.
cat daddy, the cat daddy,
Yeah.
you know. Nolan runs No Sound Studios in Pasadena. It's a great studio. We all love to record there. It's a great place to record. He said, man, I just saw, you know, where you Clarion Jazz lost all its inventory. I feel so bad about that. I want to donate studio time to you. And I'm like, really? You know, yeah, I'm not doing it but sitting around in the shelter. So I called my band members and said, hey, y'all up for this? And everybody, are you kidding? Yeah, like, yeah, everybody was down. So I booked 3 hours for January 29th.
And so Dale is taking over my interview because I was going to talk about the last take, first take, only one take, and which is what Dale is talking about. Dale recorded his 24th album and did it in one take. And it was at the Nolan Shahid Studios, which is what he's talking about. So now, continue. He's trying to take over my interview.
Yeah, well, yeah, so that's what, you know, Nolan's just the goodness out of his heart to do this. It opens certain energies to come through, you know, and just the way everybody showed up, everybody was on time, they were excited to play, and one thing about me, I don't believe in second takes, so they kind of know that, you know, and so we booked 3 hours, we finished in 2 hours. And so we're sitting around listening, and Nolan is just a wizard as a mixer. I mean, he's the greatest mixing engineer I've ever seen. I've been around some of the best, you know. And I mean, it was just a labor of love, you know, and the way everybody played, the way Jane is just an angel, the way she plays on piano.
Jane Gatz.
Yeah, and so.
So who are the people that play with you?
Oh yeah, well Jane Gatz on piano, Bill Marcus on bass, Thomas White on drums.
It's a quartet.
Quartet. And January 1st was the anniversary of our 30th year together.
Wait a minute. A relationship for 30 years?
Our first gig as a unit was January 1st, 1995.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and at Leimert Park Jazz Festival.
So y'all been in a relationship for 30 years?
Yeah, these people have stuck with me, you know. I mean, of course, they got their own things and stuff, but we've kept this unit going through 24 CDs and things.
So that's why it's easy to have or to do a one take, if you will.
Yeah.
Because when you bring this kind of energy together, it's kind of like The Fire was a one take.
Yeah.
You know, and so y'all came together and was like,
we know each other, and like I told you, you know, we have these paid rehearsals every week. So Jane and Bill and I, we play every week, you know. So I knew the tunes we were doing anyway.
Yeah.
So I knew they would be familiar with them. Thomas, you know, he's a genius. He wasn't gonna have no problem following in with it. So now that was just one thing, is the Nolan. Now the other thing that happened is that I decided, you know, with Craig Johnson, our friend who does all our graphics and stuff, we put the album together and get ready to send it, and did get ready. We sent it to the pressing plant to get pressed up. And this radio marketer, Craig Neely, who runs Pro Marketing Entertainment out of the Bay Area, we've been wanting to work together for years. He's always wanted to do radio marketing for my CDs. And he's really believes in the music, you know, I guess. So he sends me an email, Dale, I want to market Blue World, which is the name of the CD. I want to market Blue World for only $100. All I want is $100. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, first of all, what you have to understand, the success of any CD is to have it marketed.
Right.
Because otherwise, it's just going to be in your garage somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
And even when, like, I did radio marketing on my second and third CD back in the 90s, and when with the third one, we had enough money to make it break the top 10, and that's basically what put me on the map nationally, you know, because of that. and I haven't been back since
Wow.
all those years
Yeah.
because I don't have the money, to do that.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that to get any kind of notoriety or whatever success, money. You need money to make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like starting at $5,000 to do it. These guys are extremely expensive.
Amazing.
And but he believes in what could happen if somebody just and market this stuff.
Yeah.
That it can open further doors.
Yeah.
So that was the second big thing about this, is that we have a really legitimate radio marketer who has already started doing the prep for it right now, and things like allaboutjazz.com, which is one of the social medias for jazz. I was advertising my performance, and they bring in a director to do a live video with all these cameras and stuff, and you pay for it. I was like, I think that package C was like $400. So I'm paying. He calls me back. He says, Dale, your money's no good. In fact, not only are we're gonna do the package C for free for you, we're gonna give you our top package that includes the 24-track audio, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I'm just like, wow, I can't get, it's like my money ain't good. But so a lot of good, positive things are coming out of this. And I think a lot of it is, this is what I do. It's like, it's a whole multimedia package, Blue World. That name is something that really, it can resonate with people. And then you dig deeper, like the history of that tune. It's the first tune on the CD, which is actually It's a Blue World. It was written in 1939.
So Dale's new album, A Blue World, has hit the market in one take, and he's going to be performing it live at Alva's. The first song on Blue World, It's a Blue World, right? And it's a love letter to
Altadena.
And
my beautiful house that is no more. And so on multiple levels, it really speaks to the situation. The melody, first of all, is so melodic. People, and it's written by, the great writer, I forget, it was Oscar Rogers and Hammerstein, is one of these guys. And every tune on the record either comes from a Broadway play or a musical film, and like I said, It's a Blue World was written in 1939 it was written in 1932 for a Broadway play, Music is My Mistress, in 1934. And the thing about it is they're very melodic, and they're upbeat. They're very positive. It exudes positive energies and vibrations. And every tune has lyrics. Yeah. Somebody has written, and we're talking the great, Oscar Hammerstein, one of the great lyricists. And when you read, it just expresses exactly, how I feel. It's a blue world, now that, you're gone, kind of thing. And so, that, and I needed some positivity too, and this kind of, if it wasn't for this project, I might have fallen in the abyss emotionally, from the loss of everything.
It's so interesting how, it takes a catastrophe sometimes to shake you up and to get you moving, if you will. Creating Emma Speaks, I have had this on the shelf for the last 10 years, and it's just been sitting there. And, one of the greatest things, much like you, this inspiring, talking, and sharing you with the world is what is my baritone sax, right? And so together we are both the Phoenix Rising, if you will.
Yeah.
So because of your catastrophe, I'm so sorry, I'm having a moment myself.
Yeah.
I'm a Phoenix Rising too, yeah. Everybody is jumping on the wagon of
Yeah.
time to get my life right. I
That's
need
the
to.
oneness of life, because we all
Yeah.
are one. There's no separation
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
any of us, and we're all brothers and sisters, or children of the Creator.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we're here to do. You know, is to serve each other. You know?
Yeah. Well, I tell you, this has been absolutely amazing. I also want to mention that Dale and Patricia's here. It's cold. I don't know if she's going to come on the camera because we ain't got a mic for her, but she's in the house, she's around, she's in the presence. And they have a GoFundMe set up. And if you find it kind enough in your heart to drop a couple of dollars in their GoFundMe, because you know they ain't got no clothes. They just went and bought this for the interview. Everything's gone. So they're going to need help along the way. And I think that's it. I just want to thank you so much.
Blue World. You know,
World.
you can download it as digital downloads, or you can actually have the CD. You know, and there's you get pictures of the actual session there when you purchase.
So they can
CD.
purchase CDs at
they'll be there, but you can just go to www.clarionjazz.bandcamp.com. You know, we're on the Bandcamp platform.
Okay. So y'all got that? Well, we're going to put it in the down here or up there somewhere. Those of you that are watching, thank you so much for spending the time with us. This is not such a great thing to share and talk about, but from it, some has happened. And I am so happy for you, Dale.
Thanks for
having
me.
Absolutely.
I'm thrilled to be part of Emma, you know.
Miss Emma speaks, honey. Yeah. So with that, I hope that somehow, somewhere, somebody got fed today. And my YouTube channel is youtube.com. Mine is simple. youtube.com/Let's Get Fed. So if you want to get fed, there's so much information on my YouTube channel. I teach Gangsta Chef. I teach you how to cook. I teach you how to think right, eat right. And if you drink, Lord have mercy, I'm going to teach you how to drink right. If you do all that, you can't help but feel right. It is the gangster's law. Again, thank you so much, Dale. I also want to give a shout out to my cameraman, honey. He came out and decided to donate this video that you will see. And I'm going to have his information as well, because he is an amazing videographer, but he loves taking pictures. So if you want to have your picture taken, and we're going to put some pictures, so he might take some pictures of me so y'all get to see how beautiful he can make me. Beautiful That's right, that's a new word. Anyway, thank you guys again, and I look forward to seeing you in my place.